How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Today we're taking a look at Tortoise Acquisition Company, or Hyliion, or Shell, wherever you want to call it, because they're up 10% today. And they had some pretty big news about their SPAC merger, and that's actually going through. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about my position, what Hyliion needs to do to grow going forward, and kind of what I'm thinking about the company. So definitely hit the like button if you like this. I really appreciate that. It pushes out to more people. A lot of people haven't been covering Hyliion recently because there hasn't been a lot of news, but I want this to spread. I want people to see what's happened. And also, if you want to comment down below, tell me your position, because I have a very small one in Hyliion, but I'd like to grow more over time. My issue is that I've been buying lots of Workhorse. So I actually did a video earlier today, and I'll link to it here if you want to see it, but it's about Workhorse and how Trump actually talked about Lordstown and EV, and how that pushed the stock of Workhorse up about 10% just in a matter of a couple minutes. So definitely check that out after this is done. But today we're talking about Hyliion. If you guys want, by the way, last thing, there are 2 free stocks if you sign up with WeBull and deposit $100. It's only good for a few more days. September 30, they're going back to 1 free stock. So if you haven't already done that, check that out. And if you want to start investing with M1 Finance, there's a link down there too. Those are my favorite 2 brokerages. So definitely check those out. So Hyliion is up about 10% today, actually Tortoise Acquisition, because of the fact that we got this news. SPAC shareholders approve merger to make Hyliion public. So they are doing a SPAC merger, if you haven't heard already, with Shell or with Tortoise Acquisition Company. So they will have a public company worth about $7.2 billion. Now, there's been some discussion on, the market opportunity, whether EV stocks are worth too much right now. And we have seen a lot of these EVs go up to huge numbers, huge evaluations. And there has been a little bit of fear of a bubble, right? So this is valued at $7.2 billion. Workhorse is valued around $3 billion. Lordstown is valued around a couple $2 billion too, and a lot of these companies don't have much revenue yet. So that is something that I am considering when I move forward. So the difference though with Hyliion, unlike the other vehicles, is I don't see a lot of companies offering what they offer. So they create a kind of conversion where they can take vehicles that are semi-trucks, so it's normal gas-powered or diesel-powered semi-trucks, and convert them over to be a hybrid electric. They are able to essentially give them a little bit of a cost up front, and then they're able to save them a lot of money on the back end. You can see here, they compared it next to Tesla, next to Nikola, next to their own truck, and they were able to show how much you can save just with a hybrid. So a normal diesel 7-year total cost of ownership, $432,000. They're able to save them about $27,000. They're also cheaper than Tesla, cheaper than Nikola, which who knows if Nikola ever makes their product. And then they're also showing their Hypertruck that is all electric and how much that can save. Now, I've always said this, where you have to be careful about looking at just one investor presentation, because each of these companies has different presentations that show different aspects, but they are saying that they will be able to save truck drivers and truck companies massive amounts of money. Now, we've seen the stock go up significantly after the merger. We were all a little bit anxious, I think, for the merger to go through, just to make sure that it actually went through. But you can see here that my portfolio is actually up pretty big on the day. But Shell, I only have a very small position in because I've been buying so much Workhorse. So I'm just going to be honest, I only have $60 worth of Shell. I should have more. I should have bought more, but I've been really focused on Workhorse stock and increasing my position there. And I'm up about 50% in Workhorse. So I don't think you can complain about that. Now, that being said, to move forward and really be able to push this stock up further and be able to, get to maybe $75, $100, it's a lot more difficult than looking at something like Workhorse, where if they get a contract, you can really look, okay, what would their price to sales ratio be if they got that contract? But with Hyliion, it's a little bit different because there is no major contract that they're going after right now. However, they do have a massive market. So Workhorse does not have an $800 billion market compared to Hyliion, where most of these vehicles right now, almost all of them are diesel, gas, whatever, but they are trying to get into this market when it's very young. So the major electric players don't have vehicles yet that are fully electric, like Tesla, like Nikola, like some of these other companies. So the fact that they are getting into this market, going to be able to provide these cost savings right up front, if they get some of these major target customers, I think that they could definitely go up to $75 or $100. I mean, we're talking about an $800 billion market opportunity. So if they just got, let's say, a tenth of that over the next 10 years or something, maybe 5 years, whatever they get, however much they're able to scale on the manufacturing side, let's say they get $80 billion of this market opportunity. Well, if they grow to become an $80 billion stock, that'd be a price to sales ratio of just about 1. I mean, when we look at some of the other companies, like some of these other tech companies, some of these other car manufacturers, that is not out of line. So the fact that they could be around 1 being an EV company and they would still grow 10x before then, because they're just like a $7-8 billion stock right now, they could grow 10x to get to that $80 billion. Now, I could see them growing way past that, but that is a pretty conservative approach to it, I think. And that is what I think they really need to do going forward. If they want to grow, they really have to get some big kind of contract or just continue to get these smaller contracts. Now, what am I doing with my shares? Well, I'll probably not buy a lot right now. I'm saving up for a house, so that adds a little bit of complexity to it, but I could definitely see this being a good investment. I mean, I've been focusing on Workhorse, but diversifying into Hyliion also, especially if we get any kind of news of them getting a bigger contract, I would definitely probably buy a significant amount of Hyliion. Now, again, with the price target, it's really hard to tell what they're going to go up to, but hopefully we keep on getting news about Hyliion and how they're growing, how they're producing more vehicles. And, we've seen this go up significantly from just a few months ago. I mean, we've gotten some good news that they were going to do this SPAC merger, and it went up about 150% just over the last couple months. Actually, over the last month. So 150% in a month is not bad. Now, I could also see kind of a pullback, right? So we're at $50 a share, but this is a $7.2 billion company. The valuation is $7.2 billion. And we haven't seen a lot of earnings. We haven't seen a lot of performance from the company. And I could see a lot of people now selling out because they're up maybe 2.5 times what they put in. So I could definitely seeing that be a real possibility. If you're looking short term, I think it's always risky to invest short term in a company. But if you're looking short term, just know that you could see kind of a downturn. Otherwise, if you're looking long term, I think that this is a good company to invest in. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, so do your own research on this, but that is just my thinking on it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Again, thank you for hitting the like button, subscribing if you haven't subscribed. We're on the road to 15,000 subscribers, and we're doing everything we can. We're trying to produce good content and produce a lot of good content. So I really appreciate that. There is going to be some exciting stuff coming up soon with some different people coming on the channel, some different people that are doing collaborations. It should be really fun and really insightful. But thank you guys so much. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for using those links below, getting those free WeBull stocks, and checking out that video. I'll put it right at the end here in a second for that Workhorse opportunity. Thank you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.